Okay.
This is from 2006 to 2011.
I'm telling you the truth.
But they have begun to pay the one for 2011.
It's that's on monthly basis.
On a monthly basis.
The National Assembly was on that particular issue in November, where Senator Heineken Lepoberi drew the attention of the Senate
and
on
that
the plight
was
of
yes,
on the exercise. Till after that, hasn't anything been done in that regard?
As I'm talking to you, no news from them.
What about the Ministry of the National Planning? Because people are saying that if the National Planning has a compendium of pensioners, names of pensioners, then we wouldn't be asking everyone to come stay on the queue, just the way we lost Pa Ayodele in Accra and so many other pensioners. Have you been in talks with
no, we have not been in touch with National Planning. We have not been in touch.
And they haven't even contacted anybody to say, come, let's do this verification and get a data of all pensioners?
At all.
So what has the Integrity Group been doing? Is it just organizing protests? That's the only thing?
Well, we are organizing protests to sensitize federal government so that they will know what we are feeling. That is the reason. And the second reasons why what is in Integrity Group is doing is also to request for an election, a fresh election to be conducted for Lagos NUP, the federal subsector, because we found out that those people have perpetuated themselves in power for more than 10 years, and every month they collect 1.5 million naira
for what?
And union dues, and they don't give accounts.
Speaking of union dues, I mean, is NUP, do they have any financial commitments to NLC?
I think it's an arm of NLC.
Okay.
It's an arm of NLC.
But do you expect NLC to do anything for?
We are just
NUP?
making arrangement to hold a meeting with NLC in respect of that.
But have they ever said anything about this matter?
No, they are yet to give us a categorical response in that regard. But we still we link up with the National Secretary.
What do you think the problem is? Do you think the government actually has the money to pay?
The government has the money to pay. They have that money. If people like Dimeji Bankole can get loan from bank up to 40 billion naira,
because
somebody can
remember
that 10 billion.
But we remember that before the pension reform scheme came on board, there were complaints that there had been nothing contributed on behalf of pensioners. The government is supposed to put something, pensioners are supposed to put something, and that's what actually you get back as pension, and gratuity. But it seems that over the years, this fund had been looted, and there was almost nothing for the government to depend on to continue to pay pensioners. Were you aware of that problem?
I'm aware.
Yes.
But let me explain. When when we were retired, already they introduced pension this scheme. Every month they deduct from my money and send
When
it
was it introduced?
It was introduced in 2005.
Exactly. So if that pension scheme began in 2005 and you were forcefully retired in 2006, where was the government supposed to get money to pay you your gratuity and everything else?
Exactly.
Continuously.
Exactly. Like I've explained to you, the funds were transferred to National Pension Commission.
The government just made funds available. This was not funds that were contributed by people who were going to be retired by themselves.
We were one of them that we contributed. The impression they gave us is that at the end of the exercise, our pension fund administrator will be paying us as at when due. We waited. Sometimes, if we go to the office of pension fund administrators, they will start telling you stories. This one will tell you, government said they shouldn't release the money.
No, let's get something straight now, because people really need to understand what the pension fund administrators are saying, because everyone speaking and everyone watching, they are contributing to that particular scheme.
Exactly.
Are you saying that the PFAs have not been remitting monies to some of you?
Exactly.
You sure about that?
I am telling you.
Is it to everyone or to some?
to
because
all.
some say, well, it looks as if they get some sort of remission. They have accounts that they can go and
let me just shed more light on
Please
that
do.
area. You see, when we were retired, like I told you, they paid us 10 years, 1 month parallel. They refunded the money to pension fund administrators. We go there, we visit them. They said the money, if you are up to 50 years before they pay you. Now, when the exercise took place, I will call it 8th wonder of the world, which took place last year on June. I approached my PFA, the woman, Mrs. Omolayole. I approached her. They wrote a letter to me. I wrote a letter that, why are you holding on to my money? Pay me my money. The woman she now wrote a letter to me 2 times, explaining that they have refunded my money back to Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. I have the letter with me. They have refunded my money back. That was the beginning of our woes.
Excuse me, your money with the PFA
Exactly.
has been taken back to the Accountant General's
Accountant
office.
General of the Federation.
So
yes.
that even the 10 years and 1 month you were supposed to be paid as gratuity, you did not get?
I collected 10 years, 1 month. But the remaining 80 years, they are yet to pay us. They are yet to. They now said federal government will be paying us monthly. It was there, it now down on me that where is my remaining 5 years? That is another government magic. It is a new concept of looting, exploitation, reminding us of slave trade.
Are we sure that we actually understand how the pension scheme was supposed to work? Was it spelled out clearly how workers were supposed to collect their pensions and gratuity, and then subsequently their pensions? Was it spelled out clearly?
It was spelled out clearly, like I've told you. But they just suddenly came out with another
Please, would you kindly
gimmicks.
spell it out to us so that we can understand?
In the pension fund scheme, they said after you retired, they will first of all pay you they will pay you part of the money. Then they will now start paying you
Part
gradually.
of how much? I mean, how many years is this supposed to pay you for? Is it the 28 years you've worked, or?
I know that I was paid 10 years, 1 month. Then subsequently, they now held on to the money to trade. All the PFA held on to that money to trade until last year June, when they wrote to me, and I'm sure they wrote to other pensioners that federal government will be paying us monthly. I now begin to ask, where is my 5-year arrears? They said it's head of service and Accountant General. Later on, we were made to understand that head of service is in charge. Until this year, now the lid was blown open when we had that Shuaibu Sulaiman was alleged to have embezzled 12 billion